I don't wanna say anything, cause if I do I might say the wrong words. Oh no. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I'd lose you if I didn't. Till we find what we're missing and compromise. So I'll keep my shoes on and not leaving. We're on thin ice, winter season. Can't we find a single reason not to say goodbye? Oh, if I said what's on my mind, would you stay with me tonight? If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. If I said what's on my mind, would that make you run and hide? Would that make you run and hide? Run and hide. Run and hide. Oh, would that make you run and hide? Don't know what to do anymore. I'm out of options, nothing's working. I'm out of service. Come help me now, I'm fucking nervous. I'm trying but can't scratch the surface. So I'll keep my mouth shut and not listen. Afraid I love.
This is the Suplex Assassin, the Hoe Thrower, your MLW World Champion. And you are watching Cole TV, and that is on Boomerang! 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 Let's go.
Greetings and salutations, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Pro Wrestling 60, where we recap everything that happened this past week in the world of professional wrestling. I'm Xlj the Og, joined by my partner in crime, my brother from another mother, Mr. B-Ro.
How are we doing out there, world? How are we on this fantabulous Monday? We're live and in color.
Live?
Talking
We're live, pal. Oh, no, I
Talking
just got something. I just got a message from the network. Oh, no. Oh, no, I may be released.
Oh, no. Oh,
God damn it. Anyways, sorry. I couldn't resist.
you are middle-aged and injured.
I do meet the demographic, yes, as far as the age. So, well, we got a lot to talk about tonight, and we are live. So, why don't you hit us with that sweet, sweet line? Because I'll give you one guess. The first thing we're fucking talking about.
Oh, if I hit us with the line, we have to talk about the bad stuff. But you know what? This is professional wrestling. It is the world that never stops.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to keep on keeping on until.
Well, keep it on, indeed.
At least until we get let go,
Yeah.
or our contracts are.
Well,
not
I think.
renewed.
See, I got a message from Papa H, and I don't think Papa H doesn't realize I don't work for the E. So fuck the E. So I'm good.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know how I got my
All right.
number. I guess, but anyways.
All right. Well, since we're still live, I guess we can say the clock starts now.
Yes, it does. And yes, folks, our top story this week. R-Truth has been let go by the WWE. It's all the wrestling world has been talking about the past 24 hours. So true story here. We actually on this show, which by the way, you will see here in a couple weeks as we've, this week we actually did some behind some scenes footage that you'll see for PW 6100 special. completely transparent. Like, we were actually going to record this yesterday, and then the news broke of R-Truth, and then everything else that followed, and it was just like, okay, yeah, we're going to have to do this live. And it's been an interesting 24 hours, to say the least, Mr. B-Roll. But this being the first one we found out now, R-Truth pretty much put out a tweet essentially saying, like, I'm being let go. Now, what it is ultimately, his contract is running out. Forget the exact date, but it is running out very soon. And WWE has opted not to re-sign R-Truth, which a lot of wrestling fans, a lot of the IWC, a lot of everybody up in arms about this, because we talk about this a lot on the show. It seems like more often than not, the releases and people getting let go in the WWE. There's a lot to this, a lot to dissect. But first off, I want to get what's your first thoughts? What's your opinions on this as far as the whole R-Truth being let go?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely it kind of sucks because, and I think part of the reason people's reaction and why people are upset about it is it just shows how much R-Truth is loved, and like people appreciate like what he does, and like he has a very particular skill set of what he's going to bring to it, and people love him for that. Um, Now, like, can I wrap my head around understanding the why of it? Yeah, I guess I can, but I don't know. I think we were talking about this earlier. Um, you want these talent to, if that is the case, or because who knows what the future, you want them to kind of go out on their own terms. But I'm maybe having a match with Cena, you know.
I mean, let's face facts. It is a pretty good send off if this is what it is for him in the WWE, which apparently that's what it looks like. Um, my big thing, there's a couple things here. One, um, the fact that R-Truth, Ron Killings, is the one who put the tweet out saying, "Hey, I'm being let go." Essentially, keywords on the word being let go. I get it. They wanting to move on and stuff or whatever. Like, but it just seems to me like, okay, we gave you this, but what else are we gonna do with you? Like, I would be okay with this if he was, if they said, okay, or a couple things here. Number one, two, if he just came out and said, like, hey, I'm done, I'm hanging it up, I'm ready to retire, or whatever. Which obviously he's not ready to, and good for him, man, because I mean he's killing it right now. Always has been killing it. I mean, the man is like freaking in his 50s, and he doesn't even look a day over 30. Um, but the fact that it's like it's he's being let go, right?
Uh-huh.
And you have the fact that, like, okay, the reasoning behind it's coming out because, okay, we need to do roster cuts to make improvements on the roster or do whatever. But I mean, this man has been a pivotal figure on TV. He's been consistently on TV. Now, granted, has it been in like a top storyline mode? No. But he has been a pivotal part of WWE television. Like, yes, is he comedic relief? Yes. But still, though, like, this man is delivering you gold. Look at the shirt here on him. That was like the highest selling shirt, and they literally pulled it just because they're letting him go. Not because of the selling or anything. They pulled it because they're letting him go. And what is so goddamn frustrating about all of this is the fact of the matter is we continue to hear about WWE has these record profits, these incredible, insane profits, and ticket prices are getting jacked the fuck up sky high, which is preposterous. And we've been talking about this on the show. And yet you're telling me, okay, we're gonna let R-Truth go because we need to make room. I guess I get it from a perspective of, okay, room on the roster, but you literally you couldn't find anything else for this man to do, and you've announced earlier this week that SmackDown's still going to be 3 hours. Why the fuck that is, I don't know. Like, there's plenty of TV time. You could easily fit him in there. It just, this man was giving you gold, and it's just like, it seems so disrespectful that you're just going to let him go just like that because it's like, well, we got nothing for you. Thanks for like delivering like some of the just great stuff people are talking about. But here's the thing here's the aspect of it. I think they really TKO should be looking at this is the message this sends to the roster, because this shows you that nobody's job is safe there. It does not matter who you are. Your job is not safe there. Well, maybe I shouldn't phrase it like doesn't matter. I mean, obviously they're not going to cut somebody like Randy Orton or like John Cena or anything like that. But it's perplexing. It's mind-boggling. This roller coaster of a ride we've been on these past couple of weeks with TKO. I can't recall where we went from like a honeymoon phase to get the fuck out of the house, because that's where we're at right now. Because the diehard fans like us of pro wrestling, who was really getting into like kind of what WWE was doing, and it's just like, dude, in the past month it's went to shit. Like, I mean, I think we've kind of been in denial. It's slowly been going that way, but it's just sucked, and this just sucks the air right out of it. It's sad, and also too to me, the rest of the roster too. It's like this guy. Why? What's the point of even letting him go? Like, okay, if we're gonna move just to get one roster spot for somebody else, right? You can't you can't tell me you can't find anything for this to do, and the utility and the value of Ron Killings to make sense to like just not re-sign it. Like, because I mean, think of what he does for that locker room. He raises people's spirits. I mean, you saw the outpouring of messages and stuff about R-Truth being let go. It's a head scratcher to me. I see it from the side of, okay, we don't got anything else for you, but fucking get creative and come up with something for this man, because he's that damn good. And like I say, this is really a downer for the WWE roster. I think people in the locker room who were, we talk about the honeymoon phase for the wrestling fans. I think the honeymoon phase is kind of over as well, as everybody was happy because, oh, Vince is gone and Papa H is in charge and stuff. And also it's coming out too, this was with Triple H call. So I don't know. Like, I think they really should have done like a more look at the whole thing from a perspective, because this does just shit on the morale in the locker room, that a man like R-Truth, who was busting his ass and giving you like his best work, and you're like, okay, well, we're done with it. So it is what it is. I just hope this, like, whatever he goes on to do. I mean, he's already, I don't know if you saw this, but he posted on X. He's talking about like starting up like his OnlyFans and stuff in 30 days or whenever. It's like sarcastically, of course. But man, I'm telling you, like, this is devastating for multitudes of reasons. But I think it just overall WWE should have looked at like just what the morale this is doing for their roster, because like, I mean, it's not a good message they're sending, in my opinion. But it's not the only one, because that's not cool. Looks like Carlito, when his contract is up, he will be let go as well. Now this one does, I'll be honest, it doesn't shock me as much. Now, granted, Carlito was on television, was a big part of the Judgment Day and the stuff they was doing there, and once again, kind of comedic relief for that. But I can see this, because I mean, when's the last time, B-Roll, when's the last time Carlito wrestled? Do you know? Do you remember?
Oh, gosh, I know. There for a while they were letting Braun Breaker spear the crap out of him.
Yes, I'm glad you said that, because seriously, like jokingly, they should just re-sign the man just because of the beatings and because Braun Breaker's practically tried to kill him. But
yeah,
hear me out, okay? You want to talk about utility? These are veterans. These are guys who like are giving you stuff that you are not really utilizing, or maybe not necessarily, but you're not really, like I say, you're not seeing the whole picture here, WWE. Because Carlito, what he offers is his experience and getting people in town over. Like, that spear from Braun Breaker, I mean, yeah, it was the physicality of it too, but it takes two to tango, folks. And Carlito, his selling on that stuff was incredible. Like, and the same can be said for like R-Truth and what he was doing, working with other talent, putting them over. You need people like them on your roster. So, but once again, like I say, I get it with Carlito, because it's like, well, they're not. it is what it is. Like, R-Truth surprised me a little bit more, but this one too as well. It's coming out. It's not awesome, but it looks like the Miz's tenure is finally over potentially in the WWE. Now, let's say this. This is not official. This has not come out. It's pure speculation. But, I mean, you're seeing a pattern being painted here, okay? And it is kind of unique that he did kind of remove WWE from all of his bio, like on Twitter and social media platforms. So, I mean, Miz has been with the WWE for over 20 years. I mean, he's been there. Like, I never thought you would see a time where the Miz is not in the WWE. And he's another one of those guys. He can take any talent and help him get him over. He's a great in-ring worker, like not only great in-ring worker, which he doesn't get appreciated nearly a month, but ring psychology, promos. My God, promos. Once again, I just, okay, you're not re-signing him, I get, but like restructure the contract, come up with something, and maybe they do with Miz. That could potentially happen, but as it appears right now, it looks like all three of these talents pretty much are wrapping up their tenure with WWE. Also, before we went on the air about an hour, we found out Sarah Logan, once her contract is up, she will be done with the WWE as well. So here we are again, man. It's just like constant, like we're seeing all these people gone. It's very much the TKO era is definitely in full swing here. And I don't know. The thing that bothers me the most, like another thing that bothers me about this is you see the trend here. This is older talent that's being released. And once again, I can't put enough emphasis on they really need to look at the utility and the stuff that they are bringing to the WWE, regardless if they're like a main character or in a top storyline on television. They still have a lot to offer the roster, not as veterans of the WWE and how the WWE works. I don't know. The whole thing, it upsets me because like in any other industry, if this was happening where these talents were being let go, like you could possibly look at it as almost like an age discrimination thing. And I'm not saying that's what this is, but it's just very frustrating to see such incredible talent who has given so much to the WWE is now just being like, okay, you know what? That's it. We're done. We're cutting ties. It is what it is. I don't know what you think about all these people being let go, man. All this great talent being let go.
I mean, it is crazy. Uh, During like the last release, it seemed like we had a theme of,
Injuries.
injury
Yeah.
prone. Um, Now it seems like we're possibly getting rid of maybe some older talent, or just not renewing their contracts.
Yep.
Um, I mean, it's definitely interesting. I think easily, I think the one that people are most upset about naturally is R-Truth, just because, and that's because he's so beloved.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, the
And he's just
Miz
coming
is,
off a program working with the WWE champion.
yeah, the Miz is kind of a hard one to wrap your head around, because Miz is one of those guys I feel like would get like a big send off if this is it.
Yeah. Or something, just like, but once again, find something, utilize him. If you're not going to utilize him on screen, there's more you can do with him. Like, and then again, maybe it's a scenario where Miz is like, no, I still have a lot left in the tank, and I want to. I don't know. The whole thing is just, it's very frustrating, and it's hitting WWE at the absolute worst time because here we go once again. All right, now we're going through this crap, and we have the stuff that's going on with WrestleMania and ticket prices going up galore, and then just all this other crooked shit you're hearing. Essentially, it's very very frustrating trying to really enjoy the WWE right now, but all of us here at PW60, we hate to hear this. We're bummed out about it. And our good buddy Spicy Guac has got a spicy take on all of this with R-Truth. So let's go to Spicy Guac with a spicy take.
It's your boy Gustavo, aka Spicy Guac, aka yada yada. Doesn't matter. Glasses off for this one. How in the motherfuck do you release such a national treasure? How do you release someone who literally fought their childhood hero and became the necessary evil to go after John Cena. How do you justify my child cannot catch his breath because of the same reasons that I am speaking about Ron the Truth killings? In the famous words of Keegan Michael Key, you done messed up, A.A. Brown. You done messed up.
Preach, brother. Well, thank you so much, Spicy. We appreciate that. But man, we got so much more show here too, and let's get into some because it was a crazy week, especially on NXT. Which honestly, before the R-Truth stuff, this was going to be our top story because didn't see this coming in the least bit. We've got a new NXT Women's Champion, and it's JC Jane. JC Jane beat Stephanie Fakur for the NXT Women's Championship. This literally shocked the wrestling world. I mean, you saw the footage of the ring announcer who's just like, wait a minute, was that supposed to happen? Of course, now it's plain as day of why this has happened because Stephanie Fakur has officially been called up to the main roster as a member of Monday Night Raw and will be competing tonight on Monday Night Raw for that last Women's Money in the Bank spot. But man, oh man, of all people, like JC Jane, like did not see this coming. I mean, B-roll, is it easy to say this is the biggest upset of the year in the world of pro wrestling?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think this is going to go down as one of the biggest upsets in all pro wrestling history. Because this was just, there was no way. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. Nothing suggested that this could happen. Like, I mean, Jordan Grace, it would have made sense, but we now know kind of why that's happening too, because Jordan looks like she's on her way up to SmackDown. But man, Stephanie Fakur has been defeated for the NXT Women's Championship. But you know what? Good to JC Jane. Congratulations to her. I mean, she's had a long tenured run there in NXT. You think back to her days in Toxic Attraction, to now with to the stuff she did with Thea Hale, to now with Fatal Influence. Like I never thought we would see the day. But she is our new NXT Women's Champion. Of course, she has to be our Wrestler of the Week here this week on PW60. But what do you make of the whole JC Jane walking out with the NXT Women's Championship?
It is crazy. That is the good thing about wrestling, I guess. It's full of surprises. I think she put out like a tweet or something, or whatever the kids call it nowadays. After winning, she said something about I was never the third wheel. I was the main attraction.
Yep.
Referring back to days of toxic attraction. So, because I mean, she's the only one left. So
yeah, I mean, Mandy gone, doing her OnlyFans, showing her butthole.
Bunghole.
Had to get him one. And then you got Gigi Dolan being released. So here we are, man. But seriously, congratulations to her. Definitely deserves it for putting in the work in NXT. But not the only new champion that we crowned on Tuesday night. All Ego Ethan Page has won the NXT North American Championship after defeating Ricky Saints. I was a little surprised on this one as well, and with this draft upcoming, it suggests, and obviously now we're making moves, so I think it's a matter of time before Ricky Saints gets called up to the main roster, in my opinion. Because I don't think he would have dropped the belt as quickly, and he's already not even in the title picture. So, as they've got that Fatal 4-Way they announced coming up at Worlds Collide, which we'll talk about that in a minute. But this was another shocker. Were you a little surprised on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Ricky hasn't had the belt for that long.
No.
I mean, we love Ethan Page. Like,
oh, we love him to death. Yeah,
we're big supporters, and Ethan Page loves Cole TV, so
he does. Yeah, like, subscribe, comment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it caught me a little off guard. I mean, not as much as the JC Jane, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, what is going on?
What is going
What is
on Tuesday night? This is crazy. Let's talk about the rest of NXT too. Also, it was great to see the NXT debut of Mike Santana from TNA. Had a tremendous matchup with Tavion Heights. Also has a matchup for that TNA championship against Trick Williams. I think that is actually tomorrow night is when that match will take place on NXT. So awesome seeing Mike Santana. We also had Jada Parker in action against Tatum Paxley. Also, the debut of the oh gosh, what was that stupid ass show called LFG or whatever? Sorry, I didn't watch it.
Yeah, LFG. You're
Yeah,
right.
the winner of that, Jasper Troy, making his NXT debut and tremendous debut. But how about Oba Femi coming out to kind of lay down like, I'm the ruler here. So that
Yeah.
was kind of big moment there for him on making his roster debut. And of course, we talked about Stephanie McCurry dropping the NXT Women's Championship to JC Dane. It was a wild Tuesday night on NXT, to say the least. And as we said, yes, Stephanie McCurry officially is on the Raw roster. She will compete tonight in a triple threat matchup for the last spot in the Women's Money in the Bank against Liv Morgan and oh my gosh, my brain is drawing a fart. I cannot recall who the third competitor is in that, but I mean, it's not going to matter because Stephanie Flair is winning. Like, although I wouldn't be shocked if Liv won, but yeah, Stephanie Flair, they're not going to bring her up on the main roster, and she's going to lose the first matchup. So. And as we talked about before, Jordan Grace is apparently SmackDown bound. So, and Jordan Grace getting called up that quick does not shock me. Like you could have easily brought her in and not even put her in NXT. But she will make a tremendous impact, I think, on the Friday night SmackDown.
I see what you did there. Impact.
Yeah. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw from this past week. Of course, we kicked off the show with this new. We don't have a name. This whole Seth Rollins faction with Braun and Bronson and Paul. Also had a great Money in the Bank qualifier with Penta defeating Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. Of course, Chad Gable gets one more shot at it tonight since Grande Americano is competing in a triple threat match.
What are you talking about?
I said what I said. Also, we mentioned Liv Morgan. Liv Morgan returned this week on Monday Night Raw. And oh man, Dom dipping his fingers in somebody else's nuggies, man. You got to watch that shit. This is what happened to you last time, brother. You can't do that against Liv, man. Not with Roxanne. So they're gonna have to kick her out of the club. I love Finn Balor's like response though. It was freaking hilarious. Like it just
I mean,
shitty.
Liv's crazy. Like she got the crazy eyes. Like
Yep. But Penta qualifying for Money in the Bank, as we said. The New Day retained their tag titles against the War Raiders and American Made. Kairi Sane and Liv Morgan in a tremendous matchup. And, of course, Seth Rollins qualifying as well for the Money in the Bank. Monday Night Raw it was kind of one of the shorter Raws, which I appreciated because I'm old as shit. I was in bed by 10:30. I like that. But anyways, let's talk about Friday Night SmackDown. Okay, this needs to be said. We talked about this a little bit. I feel like we've talked for a long time. Okay, the Cena heel turn. Let's see what happens. Let him cook. Let him cook. I think the bird is overdone because it's awful dry and not very moist. Because to me, it's just coming across as rinse, repeat. But you know what? John Cena says he wants to ruin wrestling. Well, fuck, he's doing it every Friday night. I'll tell you this. I have no investment. I feel nothing about this Money in the Bank tag team matchup with Cody and Jay against Logan and Cena. Could care less about it. But it is what it is. So here we are. But that segment, I just was like, I rather watch paint dry, honestly. If I'm being completely straight with you. Big surprise in that triple threat matchup for the men's Money in the Bank qualifier with Andrade picking up a win against Carmelo and Jacob Fatu. Definitely didn't see that one coming. Also got to see Selena Vega in action against Alba Fire. And then got to see Javon Evans on the main roster make his debut as he teamed up with Ray Phoenix to go against Los Garza. Also, the chaos in the tag team division coming out to play with the Wyatt Six, being thrown in there. So I'm kind of digging that. Let's see what happens. And Naomi qualifying for the women's Money in the Bank as she got a big win against her former friend, now evil foe, Jade Cargill, and of course Nia Jax. This SmackDown was in Tennessee, so Bianca was in her hometown, so she got to come out and kind of get the hometown hero pop. But yeah, SmackDown was SmackDown, Raw was Raw. Here we are going into Money in the Bank. Also forgot to mention, Becky Lynch and her promo from Monday. Now we're getting her and Lia Valkyria. Could care less. But we were talking about this. It's like the men's Money in the Bank. It's like, okay, that's not bad. That's pretty solid. But you look for like somebody who's like on the rise, or somebody who can be like, this is going to elevate them to the next level. And the only guy in this really I see is Penta. I would love if Penta won. I don't think it's going to happen though. You could argue and say LA Knight, but the thing of it is they missed the boat on LA Knight, I think, about a year ago. Now, you flip the script on the women's side of other things. Oh boy, man, you got a loaded one, especially with Julia, Roxanne, and potentially Stephanie Fakur if she wins tonight. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Oh, well, happy birthday, Christopher. Happy 37. And a gift for us is you subscribing to the channel. So thank you so much. We appreciate that, brother. Happy birthday, my friend. But yeah, Money in the Bank is this Saturday, and outside the women's match, I gotta be honest, bro. I'm not like really enthusiastic about this card. Like, what are you thinking of Money in the Bank so far?
Well, I'm gonna look at this optimistically, if I will. I'm gonna say the fact that we aren't excited means that hopefully all these matches will over-deliver for us.
I think there's a good possibility of that. And don't get me wrong, Lyra and Becky will put on a great match. They had a great match before, but the fact of the matter is we know what the damn outcome's going to be. They're not going to run it 3 times and Becky not walk out the IC champion. I'm going to hate that, honestly. Ooh, you got Roxanne? Okay. I see. I could see Roxanne doing it. It would be huge for her. I would love Julia and Stephanie too if they did it. We got a lot more to talk about, but one last thing on this. If Rhea Ripley wins this, because I think a lot of people say she's favorite, you think that kind of starts a kind of a trend of people kind of not really liking Mommy? Because it's like we've kind of like, okay, I've seen you here before, you've done your thing. Like, because I feel like that could happen. I feel like people could be like the start of people getting tired of Mommy.
I don't know.
I mean, she's pretty over, but
Mommy's mommy.
Mommy is mommy. But I'll tell you what, I am excited about this Saturday. Now, this I can get my teeth into. Worlds Collide taking place this Saturday afternoon. Of course, it's going to be exclusively on WWE's YouTube channel. So it's not on the cock. It's not anywhere else. You're going to have to watch it on YouTube. Yeah, I don't think she's going to win either, Christopher, but it wouldn't surprise me if she did. I'd be kind of bummed out of that. But anyways, let's talk about when Worlds Collide. First and foremost, El Hijo del Faiquino and Chad Gable. Oh, that's going to go so hard. That for me, I think, is going to be the match of the weekend for sure. And of course, now for the AAA championship, which we'll talk about a little more about that here momentarily. Also, I love about this card too is we got some trios matches, which is if you will follow Lucha Libre, that was a huge part of Lucha Libre culture. Of course, we got Legado del Fantasma with Santos Escobar, Angel, and Berto taking on El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., Pargano, and your favorite, Psycho Clown.
Hey, like I said, me and Psycho Clown are cool.
There you go. Also, we got Ethan Page will be defending that North American Championship in an incredible four-way matchup featuring Javon Evans, Laredo Kid, and Ray Phoenix. That's another one that could easily steal the show. And we got a big women's tag match with Stephanie Fakur and Lola Feist teaming up to take on Chick Tormenta and I think it's Dallas. I know I'm butchering that. I apologize in advance.
But you tried. That's the thought that counts.
Also, there's another trios match on this card as well with the Latino World Order of Dragon Lee, Cruz del Toro, and Joaquin Wilde will be taking on Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana. That match will take place as well this Saturday. But dude, this show I'm excited for. Like I think this is gonna be a dope ass show. Yeah, we love Psycho Clown too.
Christopher. Hug me, brother. Yes. Clowns are. He knows. Clowns are evil.
Uh-huh.
Clowns are evil.
You love them though. Okay, but nonetheless, Saturday's gonna be a busy one to say the least for us wrestling fans. But hey, let's talk about AEW this past week and Dynamite, the follow up from Double or Nothing. Loved it. Great show, man. Loved Dynamite from this past week. Of course, we got the kicking off with that tremendous Hangman Adam Page promo, and then followed up with you got Swerve and Clown Scare. You guys are twinsies.
Me too.
But now let's talk about that, man. That this right here with Will Ospreay, Swerve, and Hangman, like. These are the top guys in AEW. These are the guys that are leaving the charge in AEW. Pretty cool moment. I know you're an Ospreay guy, and I know you love Hangman too, and Swerve. But what do you think of that? Like, and where do you think we're going with this?
So, I'm gonna give you your flowers here, sir, because, first initial reaction, I thought the promo was excellent. But I'm going to give you your flowers here because you made a point of saying, I feel like AEW may be setting up their Avengers Endgame.
Yep.
And you were explaining it like, I feel like at All In, maybe Ospreay's going to come out, then Swerve's going to come out and kind of recreate like what they did at Mania a little bit. And, that got me even more excited about it and made this moment all that much more.
I think what they're gonna do, my friend, I think they're gonna do maybe not so much it's gonna be levels of like an in-game thing, but they're telling Civil War story. Because here you go. You got Hangman is Captain America and Swerve's Iron Man. And they're at odds against each other, Of course they were never really friends though, like Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm putting down. But I yes, thank you so much. I appreciate that, brother. But yes, I feel like that's where we're going with this, and it's going to be epic when we get to Texas, man. And there's going to be so many other incredible matches that's going to happen on that card too. Cannot wait to see what happens in the coming weeks on Dynamite because we got a big week this week too, and we'll talk about. Also got to see the Death Riders in action against Willow Nightingale, Speedball, and Mike Bailey, and of course Mark Briscoe. Had that no DQ tag match with Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford picking up a win against Harley Cameron and Anna Jay. Also, we found out, for at least for us, if you don't watch Ring of Honor, we found out who the hell the Frat House is because I never heard of them guys. Like, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? Seriously. I had to get one in. Come on, man. But yeah, the Ops just beating the crap out of them. Also, big debut as we got and I'm gonna butcher her name. I apologize in advance. I believe it's Tekla. From Stardom making her debut in AEW, attacking Jamie Hayter. And dude, I'm telling you, I've seen her before. That's a huge get by AEW, and she's gonna fit in great in that AEW women's roster. So excited to see what happens there. Josh Alexander going up against Brody King in a qualifying matchup for the international four-way matchup that'll be taking place at Fyter Fest. was awesome. Always great seeing those guys go at it. And then, of course, Tony Storms and Mercedes Moné just making magic with their closing segment. Man, I am so excited for that matchup. I'm just praying to the wrestling gods that the Timeless One walks out of Texas, still your AEW Women's Champion. But, dude, Dynamite was great. Love Dynamite.
There's
Oh,
some people polling for that it should main event All In.
I could see it. I mean, the thing of it is, man, you're talking about Mox and Hangman, though, and what they're doing with that, I think. It's going to be awful hard to, like, beat that. But, dude, if anything could, it would be Mercedes and Tony. Like, you have got – AEW has put themselves in a great position because also I think you're going to get Kenny and Okada. Like, those 3 matches right there alone, you could main event any show with in North America. And it's going to draw a masses amount of people. So the fact that you're going to get all of them on the same show, and guess what? We got a pretty heavy, deep roster. You know, what's going to happen with Will Ospreay and Swerve, and then you got the rest of the Death Riders. There's a lot. It's like I say, the build up to All In is going to be very interesting to see what happens these next, was it 5 weeks, I think, or is it 6 weeks? I think we're 6 weeks away, which, God, it's going to be here before you know it, my friend. So excited. But let's talk about Collision from this past Saturday night. Collision was great. You had Claudio Castagnoli pick up a win against Commander to qualify for that international 4-way. Also in the main event, Mascarada Dorada picked up a win against Hechicero to at that 4th and final spot in that matchup. You had the Don Callis family in action against Paragon and Tomohiro Ishii. Anthony Bowens and Okada was a fun matchup. Really enjoyed watching that. And then Sky Blue and Mina Shirakawa was a great matchup too. Man, it was just a solid show. Also, too, shout out to the LFI against the Top Flight and AR Fox match. That was fun too. Like, we've been saying this consistently. Collision has just been a fun show. It hasn't necessarily been like pivotal points in moving the needle and storylines and stuff, but it's just been a fun, consistent show. It's just a fun.
It came on too late, but that's
it came on too late, but that was for good reasons.
For good reasons.
Yeah, but we talked about it's a big week for AEW because this week Fyter Fest takes place. Fyter Fest is going to be a 4-hour extravaganza this upcoming Wednesday night.
4 hours? That's a pay-per-view.
I know. I'm going to be tired as shit Thursday because we have got Dynamite followed immediately by Collision. But it's already
starting early.
Nope, it's starting at 8, brother.
Oh my gosh!
Thank you, Stanley Cup playoffs. So, yeah, go Oilers though. But we've got that 4-way for the International Championship with Kenny Omega defending. That's going to be incredible. We got a tag team match announced in the women's division. We got Mina Shirakawa teaming up with Toni Storm to take on Julia Hart and Sky Blue. That's going to be awesome. We're going to hear from the Hurt Syndicate. Also, John Moxley and Mark Briscoe. You know those guys are going to beat the holy hell out of each other. And then we've got the in-ring debut of Tekla. That's going to be awesome. FTR against Atlantis Jr. And, oh, my God, I'm drawing a blank, and my eyes can't read that. But, yeah, they had a cool confrontation on Collision, too, by the way. The guys from CMLL. Against FTR. And we got a trios match coming your way too. And that's just a little bit of what's going to be an awesome night of pro wrestling action this coming Wednesday. Man, I can't wait to see Fyter Fest. It's going to be pretty dope, man. Well, a lot of people talking about this. Mariah May has it officially been removed from the AEW roster. So it looks like she's WWE bound. We've been talking about for a while. Not shocked by this. It's what Mariah May wants. I mean, the thing of it is, a lot of people upset because, like, oh my gosh, I could have done so much more with her in AEW. I don't know, dude. She had a pretty good run. I mean, she's had one of the most memorable women's storylines. Not only that, one of the best storylines in wrestling, period, in the past 10 years with the stuff she was doing with Toni Storm, man. So she's very talented. She's young. WWE, I tell you, you lucked out on getting her because, like, she is one of the futures of pro wrestling as Mariah May. So be interesting to see what happens with her. I'm going to assume they're probably going to put her in NXT, but considering now there's like kind of with all these moves on the women's roster in NXT, you know, we need some more star power. And dude, you bring Mariah in, man, you got it. So
You bring the glamour.
you bring the glamour and you got it. So, but the biggest thing, this is what I think Mariah May's wanted her whole career. She wanted to work for WWE, and she's achieved her goal. So,
Yeah.
kudos to her, regardless of how you feel about the E right now or not. You know.
Yeah. I'm gonna say two quick hits on this. One, this is definitely one AEW like didn't screw the pooch on this one.
No, they didn't.
This
They
is
did not.
This is just what she wanted.
Mm.
And then two, can't wait till she is in a main event matchup in like 2 to 3 years at WrestleMania, going against Charlotte Flair, because that's what
That's
happened.
what'll happen, and hopefully she beats Charlotte's ass. So, or you know what, dude, flip the script. Maybe she goes against Tiffany Stratton, who's the established veteran at that point. Just saying, but I'm
It'll be
just
Charlotte.
Well, come out this week too. This was interesting. We found out that apparently Hangman and Ospreay were actually wanting the other to win the Owen Hart tournament final. Not so much because they didn't want to win it, but just because they thought that was going to be the more compelling story. Which I think it just goes to show you like what two great competitors these guys are, what two great class acts they are, and they want what's best for AEW. So, love both of them, man. But it does look like obviously I think personally they went in the right direction with Hangman picking up the win. So, because I'm really excited to see that. And the thing of it is, Will Ospreay, no ifs, ands, or buts about it, will be AEW champion at some point. When that happens, not sure, but it's going to happen, folks. So just put your horses on, because Hangman likes horses and stuff. See what I did there? This came out this week too. This is an interesting one. So Takeshita announced that he is actually married to Yuka Sakazaki, another AEW competitor. I had no idea. They got a beautiful dog here you see on the beach, but kudos to them, man. Like, it's a cute couple.
I just want the puppy.
I know, right? Well, it's interesting, like, this relationship comes out because the thing of it is, B-roll, I think what a lot of us don't know is there's so many other relationships that's happened in the world of pro wrestling and is happening in the world of pro wrestling that we don't know about. But thankfully, we have somebody here at PW60 who has got an insight on all that and is going to dish out the dirt tonight. So that being said, let's go to our good friend, the Best Scout Machine.
Follow the Scout Machine and suffer the consequences. P-Dub City is I, the notorious BGM, the Best Scout Machine, the Velvet Voice, Adonis, and Lord. We were shook this week, legitimately shook, when we found out that Yuka Sakazaki and Konosuke Takeshita got married. And that's, I'm just saying, what? I did not know that Konosuke Takeshita favored the ladies. I'm sorry to say that, but you know what? We're shocked, sometimes, because these people, they have to keep their private lives private. And this is the only relationship out there that's kept private. But I know some things, and I'm going to unleash that info to your asses right now. Your sweet asses. Few of you may know this, but, I got a little insider, you might call me, a wrestling journalist. But I know that George the Animal Steel has had a passionate and intense love affair with Mandy Rose over the past 30 years. Well, I'm fairly sure she's not 30 years old herself, but it's been passionate and wild, and he likes to eat. Next up, I know we all heard about Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and Adam Cole breaking up. Well, he rebounded, and he rebounded fast with former WWE diva Jazz. Oh, yes. The man has eclectic tastes in women, and, he's a short king, but, size doesn't matter in this world, right? Right? If you're like me, you're probably been drooling over those Bailey pictures that have been popping up with her in a bikini, all of you dirty, dirty, sick men. But pump the brakes, pal. She's taken, for she has been having a passionate love affair with the gobbledygooker. Oh yes, the gobbledygooker has been gooking her gawky. since Thanksgiving. Eating that turkey. Yeah. And finally, PW60, I like to be the first to announce publicly, because I got the inside scoop. I am a professional wrestling journalist. But Logan Paul, WWE superstar and just disgusting piece of shit, Logan Paul has been smashing the Yeti. Yes, the Yeti, who was last seen at the, I believe, the 1995 Halloween Havoc, where he gave Hulk Hogan the goods in an erotic three-way on stage in front of the millions of people with a giant involved. Holes were filled, and now his hole is getting filled by the tiny Logan Paul. No joke, people, I was really shocked. Konosuke Takeshita is a beautiful man, a little androgynous, but he's a very pretty, good-looking man. Honest to God, just look at him. I feel like I almost had to censor this photo in some way. He is one lacy outfit away from me paying for a premium Snapchat. Is that good, folks? Is that going to pass? Hi, Xlj. Hi, B-Roll. Love you all. Don't forget to follow me on YouTube, Feed Finders, and various other websites. America! Could you be the most beautiful girl in the world? Oh, yes, she is. It's plain to see. You're the reason that God made a girl. Oh, yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, thank you so much, Best Scout. What a great journalist he is. I think Best Scout is the best wrestling journalist, period. You cannot find a better wrestling journalist than the Best Scout machine. I'm just saying. Well,
no, definitely not.
No, you can't. Well, this week, the Best of Super Juniors finals took place in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and kind of a little bit of a surprise, as Koji Fujita from the Mighty Don't Kneel ended up defeating Yo in the finals to win the Best of the Super Junior 32 tournament, and in doing so, he becomes the youngest wrestler to ever win the Best of Super Juniors tournament at 22. Which I gotta say, I was surprised because Yo, your current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, he's been on a tremendous run, and he's never won the Super Juniors. And face facts, man, he's in his mid-30s now, which makes me feel like an old man because I remember watching Sho and Yo and Roppongi 3K just like it felt like it was yesterday. But congratulations to him, picks up the win. This match was awesome, too, by the way. A great back and forth. They beat the holy hell out of each other. It's about a 30-minute war. And, of course, it had to be our match of the week this week here on PW60, was this incredible Super Juniors finals. But that's not all that happened at the Best of Super Juniors. And a surprise. Death match icon Jun Kasai showed up to give El Desperado an invitation. I gotta make sure I'm saying this right, to the Death Pain Invitational. What the fuck is the Death Pain Invitational? Would you want an invitation to the Death Pain Invitational, my friend? Because I don't think I want to go to that invitational. I'm gonna be honest. Crazy. But nonetheless, obviously,
death and pain.
There's going to be death and pain. That's coming up on June the 24th at Corkin Hall. So wild. I never thought I'd see Jun Kasai in New Japan Pro Wrestling, but man, it happened this past week. But Best of Super Juniors was it's always one of the best tournaments in all of pro wrestling, and it really delivered this year with some tremendous moments. Do yourself a favor. It's worth the 9.99 yen or whatever to subscribe to New Japan Pro Wrestling, which really I think is like $8 here American. Seriously, do yourself a favor, check it out, because the final's tremendous, but the whole tournament was awesome. So much great wrestling action, and that's a beautiful thing. There's always so much great wrestling action going on all over the place, including on the independent scenes. Now, of course, that means it's that time of the show. Let's go to our good friend Michael. We're with an independent wrestling report about some shows you should be checking out that may be in your neck of the woods.
What up, y'all? It's your boy MJ DePustis with an independent wrestling event report. First off, we have Prestige Wrestling presents Combat Clash 2025, July 13th at the Viking Pavilion at Portland State University's campus in Portland and downtown Portland, Oregon. Again, July 13th, prestigewrestling.net for tickets and information on that. Next, we have Rising Star Wrestling presents Menace, July 5th. RS Wrestling on all social medias for tickets and information. And that will be at the Primal Compound at 2050 Wilson Avenue in National City, California. Y'all have a good day.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. We appreciate it. And you should check out those shows, especially if they are in your area. Well, we mentioned this earlier. The AAA championship will be on the line, but WWE kind of screwed the pooch here and spoiled this for everybody. As this past weekend, El Hijo del Vikingo did win back his AAA Megas championship by defeating Alberto Del Rio. Thank you, God above. Like, let's be done with that. So happy that Vikingo's champion. And yeah, fuck you, Alberto Del Rio. Got an update on Jim Ross, the great Jim Ross. Looks like his cancer has been removed, so JR is recovering and doing better. Speaking of this, though, I got to touch on this really quick. I'm a big Ric Flair fan. I have been for years, but it's time for me just to finally admit it. Ric Flair, you need to shut the fuck up. Like, just he petty as fuck, and old. Like, Ric Flair has had so many fucking chances at life, and it's just like he's just a petty motherfucker. I'm sorry, but as much as I love Ric Flair, I would never want to meet Ric Flair because I know it let me down meeting him. Because, I mean, it's just sad to see, but that's the person he is. He's a petty son of a bitch who needs to shut the fuck up. I said what I said. That's what I feel. Oh, fuck. Speaking of petty motherfuckers, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, it is announced the name of his new company, 14th and I. The fuck's that even mean? So this is going to be like a company apparently that's focused on sports stuff or whatever. Okay, there's a heavy rumor out there, and I can't stress enough. There's a rumor that Vince is trying to buy back the WWE. For God's sakes, no. Even though TKO is like kind of pissing me off right now, but don't get that far to where it's like if Vince gets back into the fold, because that's the last fucking thing we want. But you know what though? He may not be able to do so because it came out this week that John Laurinaitis is cutting a deal to rat essentially on Vince McMahon, and in that lawsuit against Janelle Grant. So I don't know what information he's going to have, but apparently it's enough to get him like out of trouble or whatever. But you know what? Hell, at the end of the day, when you look at it, our president will probably bail his ass out anyway, because that's the American thing to do now. Fuck you, Chris Lees. There, I said what I said. If you know, you know. What the fuck? So Gabe Goldberg got a tattoo here. Why the fuck are we talking about this shit? Okay, Gabe Goldberg got a tattoo that's now reminiscent of his dad's tattoo. Cool,
Hey,
I guess.
We cover everything.
Apparently. Yeah, so that happened. Okay. Whatever. Ryan Nemeth recently, this video is kind of like making headlines in the internet, kind of a little viral video action, as there was footage of him breaking up a wedding and then getting chokeslammed through the table by the bride and groom. I saw the segment. It was awesome. But I was more like, who the fuck is getting married? Because it's Chris Van Fleet and Omos was freaking at this wedding too. So I'm kind of like, okay, like who is this exactly that got married? But congratulations to whoever, man. You got to choke slam the Hollywood hunk and exchange wedding vows. This. Okay. So now it's official. We've gone into where now wrestlers have codes for apparently Wingstop, because every time when Finn Balor gets a win, you get 5 free boneless wings from Wingstop. Just use the code Balor, and you got to use it on the app online.
I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting to talk about this all night. This is so deep, brother. This is so deep. One, One, I love wings, and I love free wings.
I do too.
So I'm pulling for you, Finn. Please.
We are. Yep.
Let's,
So
let's
get,
get a
get a
win.
win so we can get some of them wingies.
But oh yeah, this is the downfall of Judgment Day right here. This sparks. This fuels the flame. This is the gasoline that fuels the flame.
Because it's not
on
chicken tendies?
On the Finn and Dominic Mysterio rivalry. Yes. Yes.
Right. It could be.
You know, oh, it's amazing.
It is pretty amazing, pretty spectacular. But you know what's even more amazing? This right here. We want to wish Tyrese Halliburton and the Indiana Pacers and congratulations as they defied the odds, defeated the New York Knicks in 6 games, and have advanced to the NBA Finals where they'll take on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, we know this is the wrestling show, but Halliburton is a huge WWE fan, as we know. Hell, he's in WWE too.
Yeah, he's in the video game. So shut up.
Game 4.
Like,
yeah. But seriously, for us, we're longtime Pacer fans. We grew up with Pacer fans. Like, we bleed blue and gold. Like, we could not be more proud of our team and the outstanding examples that they've shown, like, with great teamwork. And people shut the fuck up about, like, the ratings and shit. Like, the Thunder and Pacers are going to be an incredible final. My God, you'd think a bunch of wrestling fans are watching the NBA Finals or something. Shit. But anyways, nonetheless, congratulations to our beloved Indiana Pacers. Well, it's that time of the show. Let's go to Brian with Brian's Random Moment of the Week here on PW60.
The words of Peter Gabriel at the beginning of the song Big Time. Hi there. Yes, it's back again. Brian's Random Moment of the Week. Tried to send a video last week for recording it. It didn't send. I didn't notice until after the fact, and I'm like, oh man! Because I had a part 1 question, so I'll just go ahead and do both. So what I was mentioning last week, I'll go and do for the random moment of the week. This week, easy for me to say, and would be this. Number 1, I'm very thankful to be part of the PW60 family. All the awesome content creators here are getting to join in, and they do amazing work. And then you got me, so hey, I'm glad to be with them. They're great friends along the way. And the random moment of the week, and I'll go ahead and put part 1 and part 2 in here now. So comment your answers to both questions in the comment section, all that stuff. And the question I had in mind last week that you're going to get now, this bring to mind, is something similar to a video I saw on TikTok a couple weeks ago and kind of sparked the idea. So if you ever had a time as a wrestling fan where you stopped watching wrestling for a month, for 10 years, because you've heard of people say, hey, you know, I used to watch with the Monday Night Wars, and then like in 2003, I just got bored with it, and I stopped until whenever, fill in the blank. So some people, it's just in general, maybe something with life, or maybe there's something, a moment in wrestling itself. So part 1, if that is you, for any amount of time, 2 days, 6 years, whatever. What was the moment in wrestling that made you stop watching wrestling? And then also, if you're that same kind of person, what is the moment, match, whatever, segment, promo that brought you back into wrestling as a fan? Was it Punk's Pipe Bomb promo in 2011? Was it a certain match? Maybe one of the matches with Omega versus Okada in New Japan? Hey, comment below. Let me know both questions and the answers, and enjoy the rest of your week and make it wonderful.
Oh, you are wonderful, Brian. We appreciate you, brother, and love you. And you know who else we love? We love our wrestling content creators. And this week, our PW60 Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creator of the Week is none other than Wrestling Guy and Son 99. Now, these guys, this is really cool, man. It's a father and son. And they're just play wrestling, man, and they're dubbing it over with like classic commentary from like pro wrestling like matches and stuff. It's really cool to see, man. Anytime you get to see a father and son, you know, and they're just playing around like these guys, I'm sure they're going to take off really huge in the coming weeks. So if you're not doing so, go give them a follow. Wrestling Guy and Son 99 are Ruby Ringside Wrestling Content Creators of the Week this week here on PW60. This week also it was announced that GCW will be having a very special weekend, SummerSlam weekend as well in New Jersey. It's Summer Smash weekend. as of course they'll be hosting a show Friday night, and then immediately after at midnight, Juggalo Championship Wrestling will be taking place, and then on Saturday in the afternoon, Josh Barnett's Bloodsport 14 will take place. And hey, after you get done with the action on Saturday night of SummerSlam, you can head back over for Emo Fight will be taking place. All part of GCW's Summer Smash weekend. Go to GameChangerWrestling.com to get your tickets, man. Also, some sad news in the world of pro wrestling, and in music, of course, as well, as we lost a great Rick Derringer passed away. Now, in the wrestling world, we know him most notoriously for he was the creator of the Real American theme, also Demolition's theme, and several other themes in the 80s. A lot of his music featured on the Pile Driver album from the 80s there. So was a tremendous musician, and I mean, just what all he gave to the world of pro wrestling for some of the most iconic songs and themes you will ever hear. So we here at the PW60 want to wish him and his family our condolences and rest in peace, Rick Derringer. He will be missed. And our last story this week, so we reported on this a little bit, and I do apologize in advance because I actually had the dates wrong last week myself. So the 12th is All In Texas, but WWE is like just coming for AEW's throat essentially at this point, because now they've got 3 events going on. Because yes, the Great American Bash will be going up against All In the afternoon. Then you have Saturday night's main event, and then Evolution taking place on Sunday. And this is another thing I think it's pissing people off, because like it's okay. It's one thing if you're having one event like going on like for all during All In, but this purposely feels like, okay, WWE's like, we're going to counter their program, and then AEW's like, okay, we'll do it in the afternoon, and then WWE's like, you know what, fuck it, we'll throw an NXT in there. That's what this feels like. I don't know, like honestly, I don't care who the fuck you get for Great American Bash or Saturday Night's Main Event or even Evolution. The show of the weekend is going to be All In, because All In, mark my words, folks, All In Texas is going to be not only a pivotal show in the history of All Elite Wrestling, but it's going to be a pivotal show in the world of professional wrestling. That's how big this show is going to be. You're not going to want to miss it. So WWE, TKO, throw everything in the kitchen sink you want to at AEW. It ain't going to matter, because all wrestling fans are going to be talking about is All In come that weekend. Just saying. So, well, my friend, we went a little over tonight, but we have done it again. Thank you to and hope to God no lower releases next week. We're going to have a lot to talk about, because we got Money in the Bank. We got Worlds Collide coming up. Fighter Fest this week. Things just keep on moving in the world of pro wrestling. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight here on PW60. I'm Xlj the Og. This is Mr. B-Roll, and we'll see you next week on another episode of PW60. Everybody take care and have an amazing week. Deuces!